Good morning, class 7 students. I'm here to discuss the chapter 4. It is the last lesson of the afternoon. A poem. Okay. The name of the poem is the last lesson of the afternoon. Here, the last lesson of the afternoon by David Herbert Lawrence expresses a mood of a bitter desperation and disappointment at the lack of gratitude for a teacher's work. So David Herbert Lawrence, okay, D.H. Lawrence is the poet of this poem, the author, okay. So the teachers, so the poet who also happens a teacher compares his students to hounds because they hate chasing knowledge. The teachers try hard to motivate the students to learn, but he could not inspire them to learn. He feels that his teaching and the learning of the students are both useless because he can no longer hold them and urge them. So dear students, this chapter we are going to learn about the teachers and the students, how they interacting each other in the class. Okay, the behavior of the students as well as the behavior of the teacher. So in this chapter we will be understanding a very interesting poem written by D.H. Lawrence. Okay, so it goes by the name of Afternoon in School, Last Lesson. Before we begin with the poem, let us get to know the author a little bit, alright? And then we will understand this poem line by line and word by word in depth. The full name of D.H. Lawrence is David Herbert Lawrence. He was born on 11 September 1885 and died on 2nd of March 1930. He was an English writer and the poet. Okay? Lawrence's writing explores issues such as sexuality, emotionality, health, vitality, spontaneity, and instincts. His works include Sons and Lovers. So dear students, now let's dive into the poem. Okay? First of all, let us try and understand the little from the lines, okay, and we can easily make out that the events unfolded in school. In between 12 noon to 5 p.m. in the evening, which is nothing but afternoon. Okay, let us please while you watch this video, please listen carefully. This poem is very interesting poem. All right. So, and something has happened when the last lesson was being taught. Now, we are not aware at this poem when the last lesson was being taught as of which subject, but we can assume that the last lesson which have been taught during the day or at the afternoon. At this poem, we know there is school, there is afternoon, the final chapter is being taught. Let's move and let's start with the first line and then the students in this poem. Okay, it is very important that read carefully, all right, because these are high chances of misunderstanding the whole idea if the particular sentence is not read properly. So dear student, try to read it very properly, line by line, word by word. Okay, this is very simple. It looks very short, but then the story is very interesting. Or some of the words you may not be able to understand, all right, which have been written with a red coloring. So the meaning of that red color word is being mentioned below of this poem. Okay, so understand the new word. All right, if you don't understand the word, then you may not get the idea what exactly the poem is about. So now let us discuss what is the first line said. Okay, all right, look here. So who are the people usually inside the classroom? Okay, of course it is the teachers and several students. Now either one of the students or the teachers is thinking out loud about the ringing of the bell. Because of the extreme tiredness and the fatigue, something has caused extreme tiredness here. So the first line, look. When will the bell ring and end this weariness? How long have they tacked the list and strained apart? My pack of unruly hounds, I cannot start them again in quarry of knowledge they hate to hunt. I can hold them and urge them no more. See here, it is the first line, when will the bell ring? It says about the students and the teachers, alright? Where either one of the students of thinking that when will the bell ring and go out. I'm feeling bored, okay? I'm feeling bored of staying inside the class, alright? So it is here mentioned, the last lesson in the afternoon, this is mentioned that about all the things which were going on in the tiredness and the fatigue and then the laziness of the students as well as the teachers. Therefore, someone is waiting for the school bell to ring. Here maybe the students, maybe the teachers. We will come to know later. Okay. In the second line. Okay. To make this sentence very simple, you can imagine a group of hunting dogs, okay, tied by a rope and trying to free themselves. Now it is very clear that these are the thoughts of a teacher, okay. This teacher is comparing the students with a pack of unruly horns. So we also get to know that the students are disobedient, indisciplined, okay, disinterested, and seeing the disinterested, the teachers feels as him common, his order, his instruction is making them forcefully sit and listen. Now here the teachers is said that he is giving on lecture in front of the students, okay, teaching them, okay, explaining them, but the students were not paying attention to the teachers. Therefore the teachers feeling bored, the teachers feel something that am I wasting my time and energy here, like that, because the students are not paying attention to the teachers, whatever the teachers is being taught in the class. Now, here we will see, it seems like now the teacher thinks himself, okay, the teacher thinks that his order, his commands, his instruction is making them forcefully sit and listen. That is said by the teachers. His instruction is comparing that a rope which is being pulled by the students forcefully so that they can break free. So the teachers thinks how long these students, okay, and forcefully pull the rope to get rid of my instruction, to get rid of my teaching. So my dear students, you must experience this situation in your own school too, where there is a teacher, okay, the teacher is trying to explain but the students are not able to pay attention. So they are sitting and as well as they are paying attention, maybe forcefully to do. This is what the teachers tells us, okay. The author says in this way. Now the case it might be reverse, okay. The teachers is explaining but the students are not interested. Either the teacher is excellent but the students not interested, or the students ready to learn but the teachers incompleted. This is how it goes on. Now here, teachers and students, as a result of this, the students don't want to learn, okay, don't want to learn to the teachers, alright. So continuous teaching to them. So now read carefully, okay, line by line, and then I'm explaining the whole thing of this poem, okay. I have explaining all this about the poem of this, alright. So you have to read line by line and then just read it out, and the story, what does this really mean about, is I'm explaining now. Next line, here it is says, okay, them again on a quarry of knowledge they had to hunt, I can hold them and urge them no more. What does mean about? So here the students who hates, okay, to grasp the knowledge from the teachers is directly comparing to the hunter. Alright. Now you can see here in the chapter, okay, it says that who hates to hunt for a particular animal, but what is the meaning of I cannot start them again? Okay, I cannot start them again. Now let us fully understand what is mean for I cannot start them again. So let's assume that the lecture or the period is 1 hour. Half an hour is already gone. It is afternoon, and it is clear to the teacher that the students are not understanding whatever he is teaching, okay. And a good teacher, a kind teacher, would take efforts, repeat or read the whole thing to make sure the students understand. But here, since the teachers is getting distracted by the disturbing of the students, and therefore the teachers did not apply a fully efforts to make fully understand to the students. All right. Now, here, but here in this poem, in this situation, the teacher is disinterested. The teacher says, I cannot teach them again. I am not going to start over again. Whatever is teaching, this teacher is convinced the process of learning. He does not want to keep going. Alright? Because the teacher is getting distracted, and therefore he don't want to read again and again, explain them again and again. That's what the teacher wants mean to say here. The next line, I can hold them and urge them no more. Okay, what does it mean about? The teacher thinks I cannot drag or pull to the students to keep on learning anymore. I don't want to take any effort which are anyway fatigued. Alright. And now, to make this disinterested, disobedient students understand what I am teaching, this is enough. I am done. This is what says by the teachers. Now here, no more can I endure to bear. Now the second stanza, no more or no longer. Alright? Sorry, not no more. No longer now can I endure the brunt of the books that lie out on the decks, full of threesome of several insults of blotted pages and scroll, okay, of slovenly works that they have offered me. I am sick, and what on earth is good of it all? What good to them or me I cannot see. To bear the brunt, okay, to bear the brunt is a nice phrase which means to wash up some bad circumstances. Again, you can imagine a critical classroom, alright, with many 40 to 50 desks for the students, and in front of them is a table, a chair. There is a teacher who is extremely tired and fatigued. The teacher is sitting on a chair, maybe standing around the table, maybe standing. Around the table there are books and papers. There is something books which are placed by the table, alright, which rarely discuss the teachers. So let us find out what is inside those books. So here, what does it mean? No longer now can I endure to run. Okay, so in the classroom there are books and desks and benches and chair. So at the top of the desks there are many books are being kept. All right. So now, of course, several inserted bloated. For me now, we'll go to the next. That is, first you have to understand the meaning of the word score. All right. Now we shall go to this one, the second line. Of the books that lie out on the decks, a full threesome. Okay, threesome, as well as several insults of bloated pages and scroll. Okay, and then of splendidly work that they have offered me. I'm sick. What on earth is good at all? All right. Now, here score is not we refer to a football. Okay, or cricket. Here score is 20, one score is 20, so here 2 score, therefore 3 score will be 60. Now as the process go, the teacher has given some assignment to the students for some homework, maybe paperwork, okay. So students have in this book. So here I'll get to know the number of students in the class. There are 60 students and each student has a book lying on his desk, lying on her desk, and this teacher is very sure which is inside those books will be blotted, meaning strain or marked, to which insult. The teacher is certain that the students will have scrolled their have meaning. We have written carelessly, hurriedly in their books. So what is the teacher cannot take anymore? He cannot take a badly written assignment. It may be homework for any form of paperwork. Okay? Now here, in this chapter, it's really discussed about between the teachers and the students. Okay, Teacher goes have any passion. Okay, the teacher does not have any passion and love for dirty and untidy. Alright. So for here, for the disinterested and students are offering so to endure needs to suffer. The teachers does not want to suffer by checking the assignment, by checking the homework that the students have done, because he is very sure the students would have accomplished that is in the hurried, careless, and dirty way. And so the teachers is tired. Because of all this, the teachers are getting tired. The teachers, as well as the students' performance in the class, okay, because of all this, the teachers are completely feeling tired, okay, and as well as he says that, and also because of the students, I'm getting sick, it says by the teachers. I'm sick and tired more than any slave or servant doing what a servant, okay, who's me to work here. So you can imagine a servant working in the stake wood. You can also imagine a servant working in a pile's wood, okay, or you can also imagine the tiredness of the servant. This teacher is comparing himself a worn out servant. The teachers thinking have no interest anyway and keep on complaining about the activity, complaining about the learning and teaching process. He is extremely getting sick and tiredness. Now the final stanza, the teacher is questioning himself, am I really wasting my time and energy to the students? There is a matter for here. So, the students, read carefully, read line by line in every stanza, and then you will understand more about this poem.